And so I told the guy, "You're clearly not going to be able to fit that in there." But he's just like, "No, no, no, no. We'll just keep putting on the lubricant, and it'll go right in." And
Yeah, you just got to keep pushing as
yeah,
hard as you can.
I don't know. It just
Well, you're not live yet, are you?
oh, well, whoops. Yeah, my bad.
Oh,
My bad.
no, no,
Yeah.
you guys didn't hear any of that, did you?
No, no, no. Probably not. Probably not. What's up, dude? How's it going?
Hello, hello. This is the way.
So, let's see here. Contest of Champions Enjoyer. How's it going? What up, Emma? All right. Let's see. Let's start off things as usual, as we do on my streams. You may not be aware of this, but what I usually do is I give my dog a treat. Cause,
Yeah, you give her, put her on camera, and give her a treat.
yeah, she's a pretty good dog, generally speaking. Not always, but most of the time, she's pretty good. Yeah, aren't you? Hi. Hi. Why don't you sit? Okay, why don't you give me a paw? Oh, yeah, very eager. Okay, thank you. Okay. And then we'll find some kind of treat for you. What kind of treat are we doing here? She did the... Oh, I got the cod thing somewhere else. Hang on, hang on. Let's see.
You forgot to close the OnlyFans tab on your phone.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Never even heard of fans only. Today's stream brought to you by Icelandic cod treats. I can smell them before I've even opened the package. That's also relates to what the guy was saying about the. Never mind. That's fine. Seriously. So, oh god. All right. Zoe, yeah, you sit again. Yeah. I know. It's all of these things which you must do. It's so hard. You sit. Sit. See, mostly a good dog. Okay. All right, what's going on, though, guys? So we are here tonight to talk about Mandalorian episodes 5 and 6. Do a little review stream. Unlike most nights, Captain Bayeee is not streaming tonight. He's feeling a little itchy. He's got a little something going on. I told you shouldn't have been picking up. No.
I should have trusted that guy with that deal he gave me.
The discs with the yeah. No, just be careful when you're wandering around in the woods.
Yeah.
People, be very careful. No, what you said. Go ahead and explain to the people what your issue was.
Yeah, so I think I have poison oak right now. Is basically what's going on.
Yeah.
So I've been playing a bunch of disc golf, and we noticed around the course there was a couple spots. I'm like, oh, there's some pretty heavy poison oak right there, and I always avoid it. But I think maybe I threw a disc, and it maybe skipped in some, and I didn't know, and then picked up the disc, and sure enough, now I had it on my hands, and I've touched places, and now there are rashes in said places that there should not be rashes.
Yeah, that doesn't sound comfortable.
No, it's not.
Damn it. So guys, this time instead of getting a copyright strike or whatever, I spent a couple of hours rewatching each episode and taking still shots from it so that I could throw those up on screen as we referred to things. And I did it on my other laptop, my older one, and when I tried to put them on a thumb drive, the computer crashed. And then I tried it again, and it crashed again. So I'm super duper happy about that, as you could imagine. And yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to restart it one more time. It's just on a black screen. Now it's on a blue screen. It's yeah, not great. Dollar for you and dollar for Cap. Well, it doesn't quite work that way, but thank you, DTX. much appreciated, buddy. How are you doing tonight? Let's see. We got to go back to the other one. So I still have been. I don't know if I mentioned to you, but I've tried to figure out how to get the stream thing to show up as the top one for both Super Chats and for PayPal, and it won't do it. And I tried in Stream Elements Discord getting some technical help. Nobody's said a fucking word back to me. And I'm just like, God damn it. Like, what do you got to do to work this crap out? But, all right.
DTX, I saw your comment, by the way. You want to do some scavenger? Send me a friendly. We'll play. Let's do it.
Yeah, Cap is just, I think, what are you doing right now? We're not going to do incursions as we normally do. We're just going to talk about The Mandalorian without these really convenient stills. What's up, Hussein? Yes, it's a spoiler-full Easter. He did come back. That's what they say.
You see that thumbnail looks creepy? You're
Odysseus,
welcome.
how's it going? Yeah. Yep. That's good. What's up, Pixie? What's up, Osman? Got to be up in 2 hours. What do you... Go to sleep. What's up, Superman? Can you use all the keys to keep getting the 6-star shards in the side event? Or is it a one-time thing and you're supposed to save them? I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I haven't done the side event at all, so...
I haven't touched it either.
Yeah, last I knew, there were some posts on Reddit that Kat Murdoch had made some infographics about it, but I am not sure what the deal is. I think we don't... Is it a certain amount of keys per week? So I think... Because they're giving them out daily, right? So it should be... Like... I don't know. I don't think they're going to give them to you before you can do the second one. I'm not sure, though. I have no idea. So, anyways, overall... God, I friggin' hate this thing. I just keep looking back. It's behind my green screen, so I can't see the screen without, like, ducking behind to look back there and shit. But, oh, man. Spoilers. Yes, spoilers for The Mandalorian. Contest of Champions enjoyer. Yeah, so overall, this was, I think, some interesting episodes. That's I think you've had some different reactions than I did, but
Yep, we may butt some heads today. We'll see.
it should be interesting. Yeah, can only
Just know in advance, everyone. It's all in good fun. We're still gonna be friends at the end of this, as far as I know, and you know. We're allowed to have differences of opinions.
We are. Everyone is in chat, and we're gonna try to get to all your messages relating to the show and talk about all that. Should be a fun one. I guess I'll probably just do some kind of like something in the background. Maybe I'll do like solo incursions or something. I'm in AQ right now, which I guess I'll concentrate on that for just a second. But yeah, what's up, Yusafa? How you doing, man? Can only get each path reward once. You get keys from login every day. Okay, so you only want to go down each path once. Gotcha. The chests go away after claim the reward, so be careful on the side quest to not go in after you've claimed all the chests. Okay, good to know. Good to know. You got a girl behind the screen. No, Zoe's went to the other room. Side quests suck, and it's not always 6-star shards. Some of them are cav shards. So there is that was the infographic. There's a difference in what they are based on the color of the chest, I think, right? Let me see if I can find that real quick for you. I don't know if it's still up. Sinister Vault's mega thread. Is it in here? Duels. No. Is that the thing? Yes, there's duels for that. What is this? Look in here, guys. No. Don't want to go to the forum. That's a horrible place. Map. Cat Murdoch. Nope, that's to submit stuff. Where the heck is this at? Well, all right. So, anyways, episode 5. Because we're 2 behind, and 5 starts out once again on Navarro.
Navarro, yes.
And we have... here it is. Wait, okay. This is the info on the Sinister Vaults, guys. Sorry, brighter screen. Yeah. This stuff here, there are different colored... Okay, this is how to do it. And then there's different colored chests, too. Where... Ah, damn it. I hate new Reddit. How far back was this? Well... Yeah, they're different colors. You can probably Google it and find it. And figure it out. But yeah. Alright. Hey, look, I have a transcript of what happened. So we can use that.
Oh.
Alright, so starting out, we are on Navarro again. And we see Grief Karga, and he is doing, like, he's planning out the city, basically.
Before they zoomed into him, too, we saw a shot of that bounty hunter droid, the statue.
yeah, that was funny,
Kind of
too.
a callback to the first episode when they're trying to bring him back to life, where you see, like, only his bottom half and one arm, like, sticking up.
Yeah, because they've taken the other parts of him and so forth.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird. It's like, are they ever going to touch back on that story? Like, is he going to come back? I thought them showing that at the beginning meant he was actually going to return in this episode.
I assume that at some point they're going to talk about it. One of the things that I have noticed is that I really do not like watching the thing before the episode starts.
Like that?
Yeah, because I think it spoils the episode sometimes.
It can. Yeah.
And it gives different expectations. I think that's one thing we're going to talk about a decent amount today is expectations. But yeah, so they do that. They start out there, and then they go in, and he's talking to some, like, a droid and somebody else with... Really? I can't intercept anything. Okay. And the droid interrupts him and says that there is a ship coming in, and it's a pretty cool looking ship. I liked it, the Pirate Corsair thing, which we had...
It looked like those battle ram ships a little bit that we've seen from the Rebellion and other times. Kind of has that same kind of head of the ship, but it's a lot bigger.
So kind of like the one that was in Rogue One,
Rogue One.
It has a little bit of that look to it with the head, at least. Like, those are Hammerhead Corvettes, I know. Yeah. I don't know what this one is, what class it is. I'm not that big of a nerd.
Yeah, I mean, it could be one of those that they're pirates and they could have stolen it.
Those have a different design to them overall.
But yeah, so. I think overall it is a little bit different.
It is something different. I had a nice still of it, ready to go.
Immortal Flash just said "Sup Abdalorian." I don't know if he said that before, but I like that nickname.
The Abdalorian, before, yeah, for sure.
The Abdalorian. Makes it sound like you have really good abs too.
Yeah, which is totally accurate, guys, and I'm not currently weighing about as much as I have in a decade. But yeah. Yeah, what's up, Pedro? How you doing? What's up, Abs and Cap? Got to go. Haven't seen an episode of Season 3 yet, but want to say Happy Easter to everyone and drop a like. Well, thank you, sir. Have a good one. We'll do Cap, my bad. Okay. Had to do AQ or Abby will kick me. That's true. So we go in. We're talking to Grief Karga. And I swear, I almost feel like I could search for stills, but it's so irritating. I literally spent 2 hours. This is why I've talked to James about doing the stream to review the Batman, and I was planning on doing that exact same thing, and why I haven't done it yet, because it actually takes a little bit of time to do all that. And anyways, we go in, we talk to Grief Karga, and he is planning for how the planet is going to look in the future, and they're like, no, we got to put a rail spur over here. And then the ship comes in, a droid interrupts him, and they start basically bombarding the planet. And the droid comes back and... Wait, no, does he talk to him first, or they... I forget.
Does he talk to who?
Yeah, no, I was like, does he talk to the Gorian Shard, or... No, I think he says... Yeah, so he says he's being hailed, right? They're being hailed, and Grief is like, get the citizens to safety. So then he gets hailed by Gorian Shard, and they start talking back and forth. Gorian Shard's the Pirate King. He's the big old plant-looking weird thing. I forget what species he is, but
the mossy tree species or something. I don't know.
They go back and forth, and he's saying something about he says he gunned down his helmsman in cold blood when he let his guard down on your planet, and Grief is like, well, he shot first.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a callback to the whole Han Solo and Greedo who shot first line, of course.
Yeah. And it was just a callback to the first episode when he shot,
Yeah.
killed him and Mando killed him.
Well, episode 4.
Or-
Oh, you mean
Episode
episode?
4?
No. Sorry, I was thinking episode 4, A New Hope.
No. I was saying he's
Right.
referring to when he shot the pirates
Yeah.
in the first. I think it was the first episode or second episode.
Yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it was it the first one. Anyways, when they came down and got into a fight on the planet.
Yeah.
So they go back and forth. Nice classic Star Wars callback. For Han shot first and all that good stuff. And then he's like, well, this time I'm going to shoot first. Grief is like, hey, we're under the protection of the New Republic. The Pirate King's like, no, you're not.
Called my bluff. Dang it.
It's like, I don't see that. And he's like, well, are you sure you want to attack us? Okay, we'll see. And he's like, yep, gonna attack you. And then basically they hang up. He starts bombing the planet, and the droid is like, hey, I can get you to your escape pod here, Magistrate Karga, High Magistrate Karga. And he's like, no, we gotta get the people to safety. I'm not abandoning my planet, which was cool. Good to see. I'm paying no attention to this fight here. It's not going well, as you'd imagine. So, what? How many frickin' protect?
Yeah, you kind of got to complete those missions.
Yeah, I never pay any attention to it.
It's a lot easier when you do.
It feels too much like reading, you know?
All you have to do is when one protection comes up, you have to either complete a medium attack, a heavy attack, or a special. And then once it grays out the one you did at the top.
Yeah.
And then another protection comes up, you have to complete one of the other two. And then you complete the third one. And then once you've done all three, it resets.
Okay. I've literally never paid attention because I just use Hercules, so.
That's what I usually do too. I usually always use Hercules, but I actually figured. So yeah. Okay.
Well, in this case, I was like doing, I do use her for this lane, but yeah, whatever. Stop, Abby, don't stop timing me out, you bad person. Stop being a D-bag, Schlur. Play Battlegrounds.
About to be the first person to claim scavenger points for me in Battlegrounds.
Oh, nice.
Usoft just said that in the chat. No one has that. I'm kind of the white whale of participants because no one's claimed me yet.
Very few people have probably gotten Brian either, I bet.
Yeah.
What's up, TK421 saying he's Man-Thing's second cousin? Yeah, for he does look a little bit like him, doesn't he? The Pirate King, Gorian Shard, or whatever. All the New Republic stuff felt like it was supposed to be part of Rangers of the New Republic TV show. That's one thing that I've heard too, Kanga Janga, is that they were going to have that Rangers of the New Republic TV show, and so it feels like some of those storylines got folded into The Mandalorian season 3. So yeah, then we go from there to the bombing and everything to Captain Carson Teva or whatever, and he is on a planet. I guess maybe is he at like a Delphi base or somewhere? But
yeah, I don't think they clarified where they were.
I'm not sure if they said what the planet was, but he said that. They go in and they go into like a scummy looking bar, of course, and he gets a message from. So Carson Teva gets a message from Grief, and he's like, "Can I use your holo projector thing?" Which I thought was a little weird because, like, man, if it's some important business, do you really want that just out in the middle of the room like that, where anybody could see it and overhear it and stuff? I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like you need some security going on here. Have we talked about the episodes? That's what we're just starting to do right now, Alberto. We're like on the very beginning of the first episode. What's up, Thor? You were Thor the Destroyer, but you decided to clean up your name. I mean, I like Thor the Destroyer, but that's fine. So, anyways, he's there, and then we get the Grief Karga asking for his help, and then we get a big old important cameo.
Yup.
which
I was super excited when this guy showed up.
yeah, so we get, if anybody's seen Rebels, we get Zeb. And it was confirmed to be Zeb from Rebels. And I thought he looked excellent. Like the
He
alien
looked
looked,
very good. I was very happy with how it turned out.
yeah, I thought he looked spectacular. And we do get, it's confirmed afterwards in the credits because the voice goes, and you're like, wait, that is Zeb. That's
Yeah,
totally
it
his
was the
voice.
same voice actor from the Rebels show.
Yeah, and so he, that's totally him. And he's like, well, that's a shame about Navarro because, it seemed like they were going to make it. And Carson Teva's like, well, but he's saying like the New Republic's just going to ignore the plea for help. And so Carson Teva's like, well, they can't ignore me if I go there myself. So that's what he does, basically. He flies off to Coruscant and shows him going into Coruscant. He looks great. I mean, Coruscant looks great, rather. Again, and he goes into like a very bureaucratic-looking office, and he walks in right past what's her face from the
Previous episodes.
yeah. What was her name?
I can't remember.
Oh god, these are things we should know. He. Oh god, what's her name? Elia Kane or something like that. She's the one who betrays. She's the one who is working for Moff Gideon, basically. So walks right past her and into an office, in to see Colonel Tuttle, who is played by. Anybody? No? Cap? You don't know?
I don't know his name. I recognize the guy.
Well, he's Tim Meadows from SNL, and he. So I want to make a note of that because he's yet another comedian, and we'll circle back to this later. But he's a very notable comedian, well known. He was the ladies' man on SNL, of course, the ladies' man, and well-known actor, well-known comedian, playing a role in Star Wars.
Shocking.
So he, damn it, stupid Hercules, stupid sexy Hercules. So Carson Teva goes in and is like, hey, we need help out here at this planet. Grief Karga asked for help, and it'd be nice if we could get some backup. And he's like, that does sound like a problem. He does put in the message from Grief Karga, and he looks at it briefly and then ends it real quickly too. He's like, I get the point. And what's her face comes in right away, Elia Kane, and asks if he wants you want anything from down the hall from the commissary or something stupid like that, just because she's just trying to butt in. And he's like, hey, you were out in the Outer Rim a little bit, right? She's like, yeah, totally. And what do you know anything about this planet Navarro? And she's like, yeah, they're independent. They're not part of the New Republic. And he's like, no, that's troubling then. But what Carson Teva kind of I don't know. He's like, well, he gives her side eye instantly. He just instantly is suspicious of her because he sees the Imperial thing where she used to be.
Yeah, kind of weird that they make people that were previously Imperial wear those. It's like, by the way, it's like a scarlet letter kind of thing. Like you're marked.
It is, and then he's kind of I don't know. He's kind of well, Tim Meadows' character, so it's Colonel Tuttle, is defensive when Carson Teva's like, that sounds like a very Imperial way of thinking. So he's like, yeah, that's fine, Flash. He's like, I'm okay. Hang on just a second, dude. I'm not Muslim. I don't know why that would matter either. So it's okay. I'm not playing Battlegrounds. We're discussing the recent episode of The Mandalorian, the most recent episodes. If you want to talk about that, you're more than welcome to stay in chat and discuss that or other stuff. Don't be starting anything about religion or politics in here, though. Okay, so that'll be your final warning. Anyways. So, yeah, so he's like, hey, this person is an former Imperial, and Captain Tuttle, or Colonel Tuttle's like, whoa, you're kind of out of line. But Carson Teva's instantly is like, this person's something suspicious about her. And she kind of helps convince him not to really send any help out to the way of Navarro or whatever, is the whole gist of the scene. So let's see, where do we go then? Okay, so then Carson Teva decides to go and find the Mandalorians, I think is the next scene, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to their base in the cave thing on whatever planet it is with the dinosaurs that they're hanging out at.
It's kind of weird that he knew how to get to there, but they obviously explained that he tracked the droid. But like, how did he know they
Yeah.
had the droid, and how can he track the droid? And I don't know, it's kind of interesting.
So I loved it going in too, because like everything looked excellent too. Like the shot of the TIE fighter, or the X-wing going in and everything, it just looks excellent. And then he goes and lands next to Bo-Katan's Corsair.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're like, how did he find us? They come out because like immediately Paz Vizsla comes out and he's like, clear out, Blue Boy, which I guess is kind of a slur against the New Republic officers and stuff. And they're like, how did you find us? Oh shit. And he's like, well, I had someone who I used to work with, and it comes out, and it's the droid who is R5. And I absolutely love that they made it so that this droid, which was from a random scene in the original Star Wars movie, like now his backstory is that he intentionally shorted out so that R2-D2 could go with Luke Skywalker, and then he at some point helped out with the rebellion afterwards and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's just fantastic, you know?
Such an important role for such a like random droid.
Dude, I love that they do that kind of stuff because they make all these tiny little characters into being, you know, something more fun and more interesting.
I like how I think I'm pretty sure it's been canonized now that Rex is actually in the original 3 movies.
Well, I don't know if it's canon, but that's always the theory because there's the guy.
Yeah, that was definitely a theory for a while there. And I thought
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
They
Because
officially made it canon, but I don't know.
I don't know if they actually did say it was canon or not. I'm not sure, but that he because there's an actor who looks like him as he's older in Return of the Jedi or whatever. He's one of the he's one of the guys on the planet. So that's pretty fun too. It'd be awesome to see if there's any more follow up to that. But yeah. So anyways, Captain Tava's on the planet and all the Mandalorians come out and they're like, "Get the hell out of here." And Din's like, "How'd you find us?" "Okay, it was the droid." And he's like, "I just thought you'd want to help your friend because he's in trouble." Talking about Grief Karga. He's like, "You're a good man. You're not going to let him just, you know, the pirates are going to kick his ass if you don't do something about it." And, oh, god damn it. So then he basically takes off. And Bo-Katan's like, "What do you want to do about this?" And he's like, "Well, we can't." He's right. We can't just let him, you know, get hosed. So then they go into the cave, and the whole Mandalorian covert is there talking. And Din, I love that he holds the hammer. It's like to speak. It's the speaking
they have a
stick.
speaking hammer.
Yeah, there's the speaking hammer. It's the armorer's hammer that they take when they're
brings
going
back to elementary school.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, like totally
Whatever.
group, whatever, some kind of therapy, you know, like stuff that you do with he has the speaking stick now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, Din's like, "Hey, Grief Karga offered me a spot on his planet, so we should go help him because we did fight against them when we rescued the youngling, but it was the Imperials who
You're not doing no damage.
I know.
To this you gotta use a special attack.
But every time I use the special, I miss him because I don't have any way to counter the miss.
You should. You can get it through the node.
On this lane?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I run the same lane.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm using specials. Why can I not?
Because he keeps missing.
But like, what do I do?
Whenever you evade or parry, you get what's it called? 2 vigilances or something. Where it allows you to stop the miss.
Okay.
I believe.
I'm gonna time out
I don't know.
Naked.
I usually just use Hercules and I get him. I don't know how I get him really.
Well, I usually use Omega Sentinel because she has the anti-miss
Oh, you don't
mechanic.
want countermeasure. Never mind. That's what it is. Is it so? Is it the? Is that the pre thing that I take? Let me see this.
Okay, I landed it. But I landed it, but he's got 8.
8 protections later.
And I can't get rid of him. Oh god, this is ridiculous. All right, whatever. He doesn't run countermeasures. Yeah. So Tim Meadows' character Tuttle is referencing Harry Tuttle from Brazil, Robert De Niro's character, who takes the piss out of the overwhelming bureaucracy of that world. Really? Interesting. I did not know that. Filoni confirmed that Rex and Hera were at Endor in Return of the Jedi, but they haven't confirmed if it was the bearded dude named Nick Sant.
Gotcha.
Okay. Interesting. The actor Paul Lee, who plays Carson Teva, has his own YouTube channel called Bitter Asian Dude, and he collects Star Wars hot toys. It's pretty funny. Okay, cool, nice. Oh, what's up, PP? Yeah. So, anyways, like they go in, and Din's like, "Hey, we should help him." The armor's like, "Does anyone else want to speak?" And of course, so Paz Vizsla stands up, and you're just instantly like, "Oh god."
I mean, he's not going to agree with that.
What's this guy going to say? But you're made to think of it that way, and so obviously, I felt that was pretty predictable that he was going to be on his side. And so he stands up and he's like, we protected this little foundling. Why should we put our lives down again? And he's like, because we are Mandalorians, and let's go. And Bo-Katan and Din Djarin are proposing a new future for our people, so let's go and help out, basically.
Yeah.
Then I think we go to that. Bo-Katan says, hey, this is a... Oh, they all say this is the way, obviously. Bo-Katan's like, this is a Cormorant-class fighter transport. We're going to drop in as a military unit, and we're going to attack them from above. Meanwhile, we'll help out the townsfolk. Meanwhile, Din will draw them away in the N1 starfighter and stuff. So basically that's what they do. Awesome stuff with that. Like, I don't know, it just all looks really good. Everything looks spectacular. I thought the battle scene was awesome. The pirates are all just being pirates. Kind of weird that there's no human pirates. They're all aliens, you know? Like,
that's true. Never thought of that.
I felt like it's a little weird. Like, why wouldn't there be... Everything else, there's all sorts of mixed people. Why aren't there any human pirates in here? Yeah?
Humans can be pirates too, man.
Right? Like, I think it might be one of those things where it's easier to demonize the other. So it's easier to be like, they're bad guys because they're just aliens, you know?
Yeah.
And then you don't have to have...
Han Solo is essentially a pirate, right?
Who's that?
Han Solo.
He's a scoundrel.
He's a smuggler, I guess. It's a little different.
Yeah, he's not technically a pirate. He's a scoundrel. It's a class type in every Star Wars RPG ever, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, can you just we just call it good here? Did already use 2 revives? Thank you. There we go. Yeah, so they drop in. That's like the scene that we had from the trailers where all the Mandalorians drop and look awesome doing it. I love that Din is just clearly like one of the best starfighter pilots around. Like, I don't know where he got to be that good of a pilot in the N1, but he's just destroying everything once again. Maybe Grogu's like whispering to him about where to go and stuff with the Force. I don't know. But anyways, let's see. So they drop in, and then they kind of like start taking the town back. It looks pretty awesome. All of the Mandalorians kind of get pinned down because they set up a big laser cannon up top in a building. And then you see the armorer come up behind and then just beat the shit out of everyone, like usual, with her hammer and wrench and stuff. Then yeah, I love the scene of the Din. Like there's the one pirate that we had seen before, and he's like, he's below you, he's above you, like whatever. And he's just shooting, he just blasts them everywhere. And so he leads the snub fighters away. They're still there, and then they go and that allows Bo-Katan to come in and attack the pirate corsair, the big ship, and everything. Then what we basically the one main pirate guy that was like his lieutenant or whatever he was is like, you know what, F this, I'm out of here. I need to go be in Skeleton Crew with Jude Law.
I hope, I kind of want like him to meet up with Hondo because I just want live action Hondo.
I would love to see live action Hondo for sure.
Yeah.
I think he's now one of the characters I want the most in live action. Hopefully looking as good as Zeb did. So
That's a good conversation to have is another time, obviously. But like, what other characters from
cartoons.
the shows do we want in live action? Because I mean, the Ahsoka series is gonna knock out a bunch of the favorites. Like, there's a lot that are gonna be showing up in that one. Um,
All right, my stupid ass
Yeah.
old computer restarted one more time. Try and to keep talking from it.
okay.
Read some
Chat. Chat, what we got going on? Da, 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 da. I just got summoned for jury duty from May the 5th. Well, May the 5th be with you then. Incredibly pissed. It wasn't May the 4th, so I could do Mandalorian cosplay in court. I mean, I think they'll still allow it. I think that'll be good. And maybe they'll like the defendant or somebody a super big Star Trek fan and be like, "Ew, screw Star Wars and get you off the jury, and you're good to go." You're missing the most nefarious pirate, Hondo Anaka. Yeah, Colin, that's what we were just saying. You probably I don't know you probably said that before we were talking about him then. Yeah, I love Hondo. He's so fun from the Clone Wars, and I think does he show up in Rebels too? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure he does, doesn't he?
I think he does in like one or two episodes. I think they should still do a Maul movie. That tease at the end of Solo went nowhere. Still, dude. Yes, I don't know if necessarily like a Maul movie is what they would do, but we definitely need to see more of that underworld that Maul was in control of. They teased it so much. They even teased it again in Clone Wars season 7. Like, I actually just rewatched those final 4 episodes today because I was bored. And in one of the scenes when they're showing Darth Maul, you see him talking to his underworld, and you see what's the guy's name that plays Vision? Paul something, right?
Bettany.
Paul Bettany. You see his character from the series in the hologram that he's talking to him and like two other leaders of his underworld or whatever. And so we just need more of that world. And I just love Maul too. Maul is amazing. Probably he might be my favorite Star Wars villain. Like he's got such a fun story arc. Super like, especially if you watch the Clone Wars. If you haven't watched the Clone Wars or Rebels, you're probably just like, Maul, what do you mean? He
Like that guy died, right?
one movie and died, and then showed up in Rebels somehow. That's because you haven't watched Clone Wars and Rebels yet, or not Rebels, but he showed up in the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the most badass looking villains. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go with being a classicist and say
Vader.
that Vader. Yeah, you know.
Okay, I mean, I guess yeah, it's hard to beat Vader, but I mean, outside of Vader, the obvious choice.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean Jar Jar is the obvious choice, but you know,
True.
it's a different story. Okay, so maybe this will work here in just a minute. So let's see. All right, that's fine.
I'll be right back.
You'll be right back? Okay, let me cover. Let's see, where am I at in chat here, guys? What's up, Gerald? What's up, Colin, by the way? How's it going? I want live action Savage Opress. How are they going to... Like, he's definitely dead, though. Like, that guy is 100% dead. And they would have to go back and cover ground that they've already covered. So I feel like that would be less likely, because he's definitely not as big as a character as Maul, being his brother and whatnot. Before he sold the rights, George Lucas's plans for 6 and 9 was to bring Maul back. I mean, he did already bring Maul back, so yeah. I like Kylo Ren. I don't hate Adam Driver. He was kind of an interesting part of those movies. I thought those movies were terrible, but he was one of the more interesting parts of them, that's for sure. Cap and I have different opinions on that, too. I think he liked those movies a heck of a lot more than I did. No one's ever really gone? Well, in Marvel, but in Star Wars, pretty sure that Ben is dead. I mean, maybe you can go to the world between worlds and somehow get him back, but I'm pretty sure he's gone. And now Luke is gone. I don't know. As if they... It feels weird to be... Maul was already, you were like, dude, they chopped him in half. But at least that way I could see he's kind of cauterized those wounds, I guess. He fell pretty far, but maybe somehow Palpatine returned. I don't know. But for the ones who just turned like Yoda's gone. He became one with the Force already. But then they bring him back because he's a Force ghost. Yeah. The sequels are pretty terrible. Yeah, they were not my favorite for sure. Okay, is this going to work, guys? It could possibly... Maybe it's something with this thumb drive, because, dude, it takes for friggin' ever. I'm looking at it right now, and it's formatting or whatever, which is just ridiculous. I'm just going to auto-fight through some of this crap, because I don't care, and I was getting points for tech and whatever, and hero use and something or other, so... This is what it's come to, guys. I can't auto-fight through 3.2.6 anymore, so we're doing this instead. Alright, so... Anywho... Where were we at? So they so yeah, the armor kicks the ass of those guys, and then they're like, well, we gotta get the hell out of here to the Pirate King Gorian Shard. And he's like, damn you, and he pushes the guy aside, and then he's like, open the bay doors and fire and whatnot, man the gunnels and some bullshit, and they go down in flames, which is awesome. Like, okay, well, I guess we're done with Pirate King Gorian Shard. So, but you never know, he could come back, I suppose. Oh, make Starkiller canon, give us what we want. He's too OP, man. He's just way too OP. How are you gonna have Starkiller? Finish with this thing. So close to having these stills that I worked on for forever. So many people learn how to survive being killed by a lightsaber. So sad for Qui-Gon Jinn. I know, see, because he got stabbed straight through the gut. You'd think that wouldn't be as bad as getting the whole bottom half of your body chopped off. I want live action Cal Kestis. I'm still hoping he shows up in one of these shows someday. I think that is a decent possibility because that actor... Like, it looks exactly like him, right? The model. So he definitely could be. Would love a Survivor movie made with Eddie Redmayne as Cal. Well, is that who the actor is? I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm back.
Cool. Is that...
Where are we at?
Let's see. We're talking about Cal Kestis.
And him being in the episode.
No. But
he's on the list for sure of people I want to see in live action.
Right,
though.
that's what we were saying. Yeah,
that's what I figured.
No, he's the actor from Fantastic Beasts. Well, this is the Cal Kestis actor. Like he looks perfect. This is who they modeled him on. So I would assume that they would just go with the same guy, basically. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
Cameron Monaghan.
Kind of like how they did Katie Sackhoff from Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Like, they made her character look just like her. I don't even know if that was intentional.
I think it is. I think they've been doing that for quite a while. Planning on making the characters that. So, yeah. You mean Adam Warlock?
I'm just saying for the Katie Sack, for her character, I don't know, because she was cast as that role a long time ago.
Was she? Yeah, I guess she was in the Clone Wars, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was in the Clone Wars, and I think it was even before Disney had her, before Disney had control of Clone Wars.
Yeah, would it have been like 2010 and they didn't get control till afterwards?
Yeah, something like that.
I think so.
Here, let's see. Mandalorian.
Well, anywho, getting back to where we were at in the episode. So basically, the Mandalorian kicks everyone's ass. All the other Mandalorians kick everyone's ass. And yay, the day is saved, basically. What's his name goes down in flames. The remainder of the pirates try to escape, but Grief Karga and the other citizens of Navarro who had been chilling out by the lava flats come back and stop them. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Grief gives a speech and says, hey, I know we were on opposite sides, but now you guys are totally welcome here. Even if you don't have a home planet, you have a home here. and I'm going to cede all of the land from something or other lava flats to Bullock Canyon, which, of course, I'm sure most people have already seen. That was a reference to the original actor who played Boba Fett. Was something Bullock? Was it Randy? I don't know. You saw that, right?
No, I didn't. What happened?
So when Grief Karga says, well, I like that the droid is like, "Hi, Magistrate," and Grief Karga's like, "Hi, Magistrate," and they all kind of laugh, and the droid looks around like, "What did I say?" It's one of those classic Star Wars C-3PO like, "Wait, what did I do?" You know, kind of thing moments. So I like that. But anyways, he's I hereby, "Hi, Magistrate Grief Karga, hereby cede all land from the western lava flats to Bullock Canyon to the fine people of Mandalore." And so that's a shout out to the original actor who played.
Canyon.
What's that?
The Bullock Canyon or whatever that being named that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
It was named that because that's the original actor who played Boba Fett in the movies, was something or other Bullock.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's just like cool. It's all these kind of like weird fan servicey little things that you wouldn't know about if you didn't have someone explain it to you, kind of, or you had to be like a huge fan to get it in the first place. But it's not fan service that takes away from the episode at all, because he's like, just name a canyon, not that big a deal, right? How about a Dave Navarro cameo on Navarro? That'd be funny. I'm butthurt that they have not talked about Duchess Satine, especially Bo-Katan. Well, what's the context where it's supposed to come up, though? She's not hanging out with Obi-Wan. Why is she just be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, my sister's dead"? They did talk about her sister in the episode where she rescues Din they're on Mandalore. She mentions her dad being happy with her taking the creed, unlike her sister, or something like that. Or
yeah,
she didn't disappoint. Like she mentions her sister on that, so that's obviously Satine. Or I guess it could be somebody else, because there's the Corky. She had a nephew, and we don't know where that kid came from. Something, I don't know. They get all the crappy land, yeah. Hey, those volcanic soils are going to be rich in nutrients for farming, which, is exactly what the Mandalorians are known for. So,
everybody knows this.
Yeah. All right, freaking battlegrounds are full of modders right now. That's how it always is at the end, Chewie. That's why you got to get your crap done earlier.
I think I ran into my first one yesterday. I don't know if you saw the screenshot I shared, but
I think so. Yeah.
It felt like pretty shady. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but she was such an important political figure. Same with Padme in Kenobi. Yeah, I don't know. She was a very important political figure, but like I said, in the context of the story, I don't know why or where her name would come up. You don't just usually be like, "Yeah, my sister was really important, but she did," so, I don't know. They might have said something about your sister was a pacifist or something like that, maybe. And that would kind of make sense, but, yeah. All right, anyways, so where are we at? So he cedes them the land, and then Paz Vizsla comes up. Ooh, by the way, did you notice that Paz Vizsla is no longer being voiced by
Favreau?
Yeah, no.
I don't think, was it ever?
Yes, it was. I think the first 2 seasons, the first season for sure, but I think the first 2 seasons it was voiced by Favreau, and it's now being voiced by someone else. So, like, maybe if he takes his mask off, it'll be someone besides Jon Favreau, or maybe just Favreau just has like a lot of shit going on, doesn't have time to do the voice on it. So, one of those things, but yeah. Would love to see a Force-sensitive love child from Obi-Wan and Satine. That would be interesting, for sure. Yeah, my roommate and I had a theory that the armor is somehow a third sister of Bo and Satine that we never knew about. Could be. But you'd think that Bo would recognize her voice if she was her sister, right? I guess you could have something too.
Well, he said that Bo and Satine never knew about.
Well, that's true, but they know about the nephew.
Or that we never knew about, I guess.
They know about the nephew, so that nephew had to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like, Bo would recognize her, I would think. I guess he could have a voice change, but wouldn't she recognize her armor? Wouldn't she, like, I have a hard time. I don't see that one being likely.
That'd be out there. That'd be a wild one for sure, though.
But yeah, okay. So then he says, "Hey, come and talk to the armor." And the armor is down in the old covert, and she's showing off the forge they used to have. She's talking about how they used to have. She remembers the Great One on Mandalore and the sound of 100 hammers ringing out and that kind of stuff. And
Now there's only one.
now there's only one, and this was a small one, but it served its purpose. And so then she asks her to remove her helmet, and Bo's like, wait, what?
It feels like a test at first. You're like, wait,
Yeah. It's like, what
is
are
she
you...
testing me? Like, do I take it off or?
Yeah, and then she's like, do you respect my station? She's like, no, okay. So she takes it off, and she says that our people have strayed from the way, and they need to walk the way together. And Bo-Katan's like, I understand. So then they go marching out to all of the other... Oh, no, she talks about the mythosaur. Because she's like, I thought the mythosaur only existed in legend, but you've seen one. And, dude, they just clearly believe anything another Mandalorian will say. It's like,
Yeah.
like the Mandalorians apparently aren't known for lying. I don't know what happened, but they're like, yeah, it's...
Yeah, if that's the case, why didn't they just say, "Oh yeah, I beat Din in a duel and I won the Darksaber"?
Yeah, which she could have done, I suppose, too.
You could have just said that. And if they're going to believe I saw a mythosaur, I feel like saying the thing about the Darksaber was more believable than that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. They're both kind of things that it's you're getting to because you're being told them from somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Let me see here. Hang on just a second. Can I get this in the right... Ooh. I may have finally gotten this stupid thing to work properly.
Oh.
That would be exciting. Add a source being a window capture, sure.
Miracle sent over $1. Any spoilers? Yeah, we're talking about episode 5 right now. We're at the end of episode 5, actually.
Yeah. Where'd that add in? No, why is it not showing? Dang it. This is why, like, if things had worked properly before the stream, it really would have been nice. Oh, God. I feel like I'm some kind of crazy giant headman here from Star Trek. There's the one episode where there's the guy on the view screen and let's see. Why is this not capturing the right thing? Dude, so there's like it must be a different way to do this. Sure, let's try this. Hang on, guys. I swear, this is gonna work. This is gonna be worth it, too. Totally, fully, 100% worth it. Yes. No. God damn it. No, that doesn't work either. Okay. Anyways, we're going back to... I have it up now on my screen. Haley, thank you very much, though. It doesn't matter. I'll watch it eventually. Yeah, either way, thank you for the support, though, very much. Like, yeah, it's your choice, you know. What's up, Hake? How's it going? Stop advertising Brian's bald caps. Are we going
dang good.
Are we going to have an entire separate stream for Ahsoka trailer night? I don't think so, but kind of like it would be interesting for sure, right?
Yeah, I was thinking that either that or we'll see when we get to the end of this. Once we get through the next episode, if it's not super late, maybe we'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, because we're done with this one, so we can talk about the next one.
Yeah.
I just want this friggin' thing to work. Well, anyways, the final episode, or the ending of the episode is that she comes out and Paz is like, hey, she has her helmet off, what the shit? But the armor is like, well, she walks the path between both worlds, so she can do that. And you're like, oh, cool. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
But apparently it is, so that's fun. Yeah, and then, like, that's pretty much how the episode ends, right? What's up, Julie Ray? How's it going?
Miss New Booty.
Okay. Can I do it like...
I just had to finish his saying there. What he said.
Damn it. Okay, so I could do them individually? That would just take forever.
How were you trying to do it? Like,
I'm trying to... I was trying to add a window source, and it won't let me add it because I had it open in a window, and I'm like, why won't you just let me add this friggin' window?
Couldn't you just try to do it as a desktop? Do like the whole desktop?
What do you mean? The full desktop?
Yeah.
How do I do that in Stream Labs or OBS? Because you're... Maybe I could just do display capture for the full desktop?
So let me pull up.
Can I do that?
That might have been
Don't want that. What's up, Luca? How's it going? Abido, Dooley just beat the shit out of me in Gladiator Circuit. Nice. Well done, Dooley. Get some revenge for me. There's like image slideshow.
Display capture. Add a display capture, and then that'll just capture whatever's all up on your screen, and then whatever's like, just pull up whatever's in front.
Yeah? Okay. This kind of looks horrible. Nope, don't do that.
And what you can do is hold Alt and drag from a corner on the OBS.
Right, but the problem is that, like, then I can't see anything if I do it full screen like that.
True. Because you have to keep that up.
Can do fit to screen? Where is it? Yeah.
So it wouldn't let you, let me see here.
See, because this is what I normally look at.
You tried window capture?
I did, and it wouldn't do just the window, which is for some reason. I don't know why.
Weird.
Yeah, because now, see, this is like tiny. If I do this, no, not that. Do it the other way. Like, so then you guys can pretty much see everything, but... God. Technology, guys, technology. And they're out of order. Damn it. See, because we had this as like the beginning here with Grief Karga. That's the Corsair ship. That's the Pirate King Gorian Shard. We'll shoot first. Bombing the planet. Going to the thing. Checking out this. We got Zeb. We got the office. Oh, yeah, I liked the droid. Who he's like in his office where he's like, don't you put anything more on my desk. And the droid just sets the stuff down. It's like, F you.
Yeah, it's like every stubborn teenager ever.
The side eye for Elia Kane here. He's like, I was just pointing out Tim Meadows, right? Yeah, definite side eye going on. Grief. Going, Captain Teva going there. So see, this was all supposed to be like in turn, and I took a while to get all these stupid screenshots. And yeah, they all drop out. There's a scene we saw from the trailer. Mandalorian's looking friggin' awesome. Kicking some ass. Pirate guy who's going to be... They have confirmed he's going to be in Skeleton Crew.
Oh, they did?
Yep. I'm pretty sure that was out of Star Wars Celebration. Armor comes up, kicks some ass. The Corsair ship goes down. Grief talks to the townspeople and the Mandalorians. Mandalorians are like, yeah, Mandalorians, looking badass. Bo-Katan goes in, helmet off. Bo-Katan comes out, helmet off. And then, oh, so that's the very end of the episode. We forgot about that. So Carson Teva goes and is checking out this shuttle, a Lambda shuttle, which has been destroyed or been breached and just sitting in space. And then he discovers that there's a shard of Beskar armor. And so when he's talking to somebody back at the New Republic, they're like, so what are you saying? Mandalorians did this? And then the episode ends, basically. So
yeah, so Moff Gideon was broken out, and it's looking like some kind of Mandalorian or someone set up the Mandalorians by using Beskar.
Yeah, which I think makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it, I don't see how. Plus, how did that Beskar armor get broken off? That's pretty rare to do, right?
Yeah, that was also. It did feel. I was kind of like, wait, what was broken off? I couldn't tell what it was.
a piece of it. So that's this little sliver there. You see there's like the bright spot, and then there's this little piece of metal there. I don't know what the hell this looks like because I can't see my own screen now when I do this. So, but yeah, it's there. How you feel about the new movie announcement stuff? Dooley, I'm pretty excited about it. I don't really care too much about the Rey stuff and that one. If they have a chance of making that me care, I mean, I'll probably still be interested, but I'm not too excited about that. But the other two sound pretty cool. So
Yeah, I think that's the majority. Majority of people feel like.
yeah,
And I don't know. We'll see what happens. I could see them bringing back Finn's character too, and having him all of a sudden be a Jedi because they kind of teased that a lot in the last movie, which I thought was really stupid.
yeah, because they did like that he was force sensitive, and then but it was like, oh, but I love Rey, and then no, that didn't go anywhere either, and like the whole movie was just stupid. So
Yeah.
like it really didn't go down well at all. Okay. Well, how do I know? All right. Well, I guess we'll just keep doing it this way. It's friggin' irritating.
So dumb.
I'll. What's that?
It's so dumb.
Yeah. So that was basically that episode. And yeah. So before we go on, what did you think about that episode in total?
I liked that episode a lot. It felt very Star Warsy, space pirates is literally kind of a whole concept of Star Wars. Some people say like it's a lot of that kind of stuff, and this is literally pirates in space. And we just get it's a fun episode. We see all the Mandalorians kicking ass, which is what you expect from a show called The Mandalorian.
Yep. Mandalorian things.
The show's definitely evolved from the first two seasons where it was focused mainly on Mando and Grogu, and now it's like the show's more so about all Mandalorians. And it's cool now that they have their own land, and then they set up what's going to be happening for the final 3 episodes of, okay, now Bo's going to go off and bring in all the other Mandalorians and unite us all as one, and she's going to ride the mythosaur, or someone's going to ride the mythosaur.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see.
Maybe, who knows? And it's going to be awesome. It is a big setup, and then obviously the big tease of Moff Gideon at the end that, oh, he is still looming out there. He's not captured anymore. So
yeah, which they had alluded to in a previous episode.
From beginning to end, it was really well done, and of course the Zeb cameo to top it off, with a little cherry on top, a little tease of maybe he's going to show back up again in the Ahsoka series, since pretty much every other character from the Ahsoka series is going to be in that show. So that's I really liked episode 5.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it quite a lot. I thought it was pretty exciting. Lots of good action. It definitely kind of moved along at a good pace. It did feel like they were incorporating some of that Rangers of the New Republic stuff, but yeah, I thought it was very good overall. Yeah, I liked it. So, okay, let's see here.
And that brings us to episode 6, where the disagreements will start.
Where they will start to happen. Yes. Okay, and I think. I don't know if this is a better way to do it, but let's see. I kind of this is a smaller. These are smaller shots of it here, but we start out with episode 6, and we start out with what looks like, I guess this is a corn ship. So it looks very similar to Mon Calamari ones in the design.
Makes sense. They're from the same world. And
yeah, it makes sense. Let's see, can I make this a little bit bigger here? Yeah. So I thought that was a pretty cool looking ship. And then we cut in, and there's a corn captain here. Those are the other species besides the Admiral Akbar species, for if you guys don't know that. And I love that her chair here, she's in a tank, and she's got her fish tank like thing, but it also becomes a chair. Like, that was a pretty cool design, I thought. So we start out with
these two species that they've always been like enemies.
Yeah.
So the big reveal at the beginning here that there's two of them that are in love is like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's crazy. And it's the prince of the species or whatever.
Well, it's some prince. So yeah, were they? Was that a callback to like? Wasn't one of the first, or wasn't one of the other bounties for the Mandalorian?
Yeah, I heard
in episode
I saw
3.
point that out. It might have even been in the first episode.
I think it was episode 3 where he's
Okay.
getting the other, because he delivers the child and is gonna go, and he's got his pick of other bounties, and he's like, I'll take all of them. That one's a long ways away, and he changes his mind and goes back and rescues Grogu, of course, right? So
Yeah.
but yeah. So then we see. So basically, this corn ship is getting pulled over, basically, by the Mandalorians who have broken away from Bo and are, mercenaries, basically. They're privateers. So the Corn's like, hey, well, we don't have any problem with the Imperials. And they're like, well, we're not Imperials. It's cool. We're Mandalorians. Like, well, we don't have... This means war if you come and get the prince back or whatever. And he's like, well, war with who? We're privateers. So this guy's name is Axe Woves, something? And we saw him and the chick up here in the second season with Bo-Katan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we have the prince here and the captain of the ship, and she's like, I'm not going to throw this away for a fling. And he's like, but I love you. And then do a little tentacle dance, and it's gross, but cool.
Yeah, that little tentacle was...
So
creepy.
yeah, it was. But they take him back. The Mandalorians come aboard. They don't fight back, and they're like, yeah, I feel like it's more politics. Yeah, which I love people complaining about politics in Star Wars. They're like, there's a lot of people's complaint about the Clone Wars and the prequel trilogy, and you're like, yeah, there's always been politics in Star Wars. What do you want? How much for a piece of Beskar? Mandalorian. How much? Evil stranger. Tree Fitty. Nice. I think it would be a huge mistake to do nothing with Rey like what happened with Luke, Leia, and Han after the OT, so I'm very happy they're telling more stories about her. Yeah, if they do some better writing, Kank and Janky, yeah. What's up, Indrin? How you doing? I can't believe they broke away from Bofa.
Nice.
Well, she wasn't in charge. Who's Bofa, Dooley? Does that have something to do with DN? Anyways.
Boba's sister?
Yeah. So
Boba and Bofa?
So then we see Bo-Katan and Mando and Grogu going to this planet, which we saw from the trailers. And it's interesting. They have these domed cities. I think people thought those were Mandalorian cities, but they're not. They're just some other domed cities in an area which looks very lush and green, which is cool. And then they go in, and I guess this is the point that broke people's brains. They go in to land. They want to go see the Mandalorians who are stationed on this planet, and they get pulled in basically by the automated systems from the planet. Like, nope, you're gonna land over here. And they're like, well, can we go see the Mandalorians? Like, nope, we got to come see the leaders. Like, we don't want to do that. Too bad. And they just suck them off through some tubes. And I loved all those scenes of them, like Bo-Katan getting slammed back in her seat and shit. Like, oh crap. Okay, well, here we go. So then they come in and they walk in, and yeah, here's the moment that broke people's brains. This may or may not be Bryce Dallas Howard over here, the redhead in the stormtrooper armor. So these are stormtrooper armor with capes and redone. But we come in and we have Jack Black and Lizzo, who, all right. So I think this is part where we start to get diverge on this, right? So tell me your feelings about this.
So, I didn't have a problem with them being cast in the show or Star Wars or anything like that. I enjoy cameos. I like when there's cameos like this. My problem was that it felt like it was too late in the season to have an episode that was centered around all of these cameos after the major teases that they had in the last episode, in knowing that there's only 3 episodes left in the entire season that we've been waiting 2 years for, that this episode, majority of the episode was focused around these cameos, essentially. So it's like, this episode needed to be episode 2 or episode 3 with this little side mission. And then This episode could have been Bo getting her old group back and getting all of them. Then the next episode reveals, oh, this is where Moff Gideon's been, and this is what's going on here and how they're doing. And then we get the finale, which closes out everything. But no, we got this episode, which was just this quirky mission about rogue droids on this planet we've never heard of with these characters we've never cared about or don't know anything about. And it's just because, oh, we have 3 major actors that we want to have a cameo of here, and we're never going to ever see anyone here ever again.
Okay, I understand about the point in the season. I don't think the episode was at all built around the cameos. Like, I don't think that I think they had these roles, and then these actors played these parts, right? So I think part of what helped it for me was that I didn't know what the hell Lizzo looked like. I'd only ever heard of her before. So for me, this was just seeing Jack Black on screen, and then some.
I did the same thing. I didn't see until afterwards. People were like, oh, that's Lizzo. I'm like,
I didn't know who that was. So it didn't that part didn't bother my brain at all.
Yeah, same.
But the thing is, I guess every time you ever play a video game or whatever, you have a lot of fetch quests, and you go along where no matter what point in the game you're at, you still, like, you get to the 5th planet, you still have to do the side quests before you're advancing the main mission. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, like, it just didn't bother me at all. I loved the whole. Also, I grew up watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, right? There's no overarching plot line to any season of Star Trek: The Next Generation. I was never like, oh God, there's only 2 episodes left. Are they going to finish up? No, it's just they were bottle episodes. And The Mandalorian started out being a lot of bottle episodes, which people complained about. They're like, oh no, these bottle episodes suck. And then when things aren't advancing the plot well enough, then they're like, wait, or no, then like, what is, we should have had this bottle episode earlier. I don't know. I guess it just didn't bother me at all because I'm not expecting anything at all from the show. One of the things I love about the show is that I don't know where it's going at all. And if you look at the prequels, right? Well, you knew that Anakin was going to become Darth Vader, Order 66 was going to happen, Palpatine was going to take over. You always knew what the end was going to be. So part of the way you're like, how is this going to happen to get us to where we know we want to be, right?
You can even almost say the same thing about Andor. Like, we know this character's fate.
Right, yeah. So you can say the same thing there.
Like, what's going to happen.
Or a show like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, we know that at the end, Daenerys and Jon and whatever, they have to do something. So you have I get in those shows where it's like, they didn't really advance the main story enough for my taste. In this, I don't know where anything's going. Like, we do get the idea that Moff Gideon has escaped and is behind the scenes somewhere. We do now know that there's going to be a movie happening that's going to wrap up all this, which we can talk about, I guess, at some point too, and tie in all of these shows in the Mando verse, so Ahsoka and Mandalorian and that kind of stuff. So we know that's going to culminate in a movie, and so I get that a little more now. But for this being like, oh, this is the 6th episode, and there's only 2 more. I didn't like the side quest portion of it. I'm like, nah, I don't know. The side quest portion to me just felt like fun, you know. Because, so Kanka Janga saying that Lizzo's a terrible actor, I didn't think she was a terrible actor at all. I don't know why. Like, what did you think about her acting was bad? I just thought she was this, they were both just these royal people who were democratic leaders and stuff, and I don't know, I liked it. I loved all the stuff with Grogu with her. He's super cute. She's like, can I hold your kid? And Mando's like, he doesn't really like to be whatever, and he just leaps right at her when she has some food. You know?
That little fish, and he's like, I'm all in.
All right, I'm totally there.
Yeah.
What Cap just described as a classic Clone Wars episode, but apparently that formula doesn't work as well in live action. Yeah, there's a bit of that too. I get, but like I said,
next comment. He said also we're the point of the season where we're all just like, what the hell is going on with this season? Let's get to the juicy parts. And yeah, that's kind of also what I said to you earlier this week after I watched it is there had up until episode 5, there wasn't really an arc of like what the goal is for the season. And you've said that, it doesn't need that. But going back the way this show's kind of gone before, the first season was all about, well, before we didn't know his name was Grogu, but it was all about Grogu and getting him to safety and running away, getting away from.
Well,
yeah, but there were a lot of, each episode was its own little side mission.
Yeah, there were lots of
the main
stuff
thing
in between.
all along. was that he was trying to keep Grogu safe.
Right.
And then season 2 was
He's
all
trying to get him
about
back to
trying to find a Jedi to get Grogu to the Jedi, and that ended off with him getting there.
right.
Season 3 comes in, and we're led to believe, based off of the Book of Boba Fett episodes, which also I still will say every time that those 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett should have been episodes 1 and 2
Yeah.
of Mandalorian, because if you didn't watch those, you're
And
all of a
being
sudden just like,
reunited
wait,
off screen, yeah, I think was a weird
Grogu's,
thing.
yeah, them reuniting off screen.
Or not in the
and-
Mandalorian itself, rather.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's yeah, same thing, kind of thing. So I just lost my train of thought.
Sorry. No, I get those complaints about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we're led to believe going into the season that the goal is Mando going back to Mandalore and getting into the waters and becoming a Mandalorian again.
And I think
that
people-
happens like right away, and then
Right.
we're like, so now what's going to happen?
So people kind of
ever
expected that
since
would
then, it's
take
just
all
kinda been-
season, right? And then it happens right away, and so then people don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a complaint, and which I both get and don't get, because so people were thinking that it would take them all season to get to Mandalore, but then they just do it right away. So they're like, oh shit, I don't know where this is going. I don't ever know that I've had a show where I was like, damn, this isn't predictable. I hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't know where it's going. That's a good thing for me. I don't want to be able to predict what's going to happen. Like, that's usually a shitty show if I can predict where it's going. That usually bothers me. Me not knowing where it's going is fun, because I can just be like, oh my god, cool, this happened. Or, oh, this thing happened, or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I think
it's all about
my
expectations.
argument against that. I'm the same way. Like, I hate it when shows or movies are too predictable. Like, it's just it's happened many times. Where I'm like, oh, they're the killer. Oh, sure enough, yep, they were the killer. Got it. I nailed that 5 minutes into the movie or whatever. So, but for this, the episodes haven't really felt connected in a way, I guess.
For me, they totally felt connected, because they're moving from point A to point B. They go to Mandalore. They come back from Mandalore. They describe what happened and advance that while doing some fun action. Then they move the plot along with the New Republic stuff, which is going to probably pay off later with, Moff Gideon coming back. So, and then they do, at the beginning of the episode and the end of that episode, there was stuff where it advanced the plot for the Mandalorian stuff. They come back in the last episode 5 that we just talked about, and they get to Navarro, and that advances to where Bo-Katan can have her helmet off, and the armor is like, hey, we need to do this stuff together. And then in this episode, they go, and she gets her people back, which is what the armorer sent her out to do, is to get more Mandalorians together. Like, it all seems to be going point to point to point for me, and it's just that in between, there's some fun action for each episode. There's the action where they gotta save Paz Vizsla's kid. There's the Ragnar. There's the action where they gotta go to Navarro and kick the shit out of some pirates. There's the action where they're wandering around in Mandalore and he gets the Darksaber taken from him. He gets captured. There's the, you know what I mean? Like, it all seems like pretty well done to me, because it's advancing the plot at certain points of every episode of what the main overall season is, but then each individual episode also has its own. It's absolutely classic writing where, say, in sitcoms or almost anything back in the day, there'd always be the A plot and the B plot. And the A plot's the main plot, and that kind of stuff happens in the B plot, whatever. And if it's a really good show, they tied all those things in together. And this seems pretty much like the exact same thing to me. So, I don't know. It just doesn't bother me at all. Like, I really enjoyed this episode too. So, but I get why some of these complaints that you have or that other people have, where they're confused, they don't know where things are going. I just think that you're bringing your own expectations to this, and that's partially. I just don't think it's helping for your enjoyment, I would say. And that's easy for me to say, not doing that, right? And it's all about how you're looking at it. But for me, I don't have any expectations, so everything's like, oh, cool, just more quirky, weird Star Wars shit, like the Stormtrooper armor in the back, and the two of them interacting. I liked their interactions because they're like, they're a cute little couple and stuff, and you're like, is something going on with Jack Black though, because he's a former Imperial? Is he screwing things
I
up?
did think that that was going to be a big reveal, like at the end when I mean, we're skipping ahead in the
And
episode,
they
of
make
course,
it to feel
but
like that though. They mean for you to
yeah,
be
he
suspicious of
was
him.
going to be in cahoots with the guy that
He's
did
taking
it all.
advantage of her because she was the ruler of this planet before they decided to be a democracy. So let's
Yeah.
okay. Let's skip ahead a little bit here, and then let's get to chat because we got Kanga and Lakshaya saying lots of different stuff. Let's read some of this, and then we'll continue on with the episode. So I agree with Captain. Lizzo's terrible. What Captain described, blah blah blah. Hey, what's up, Shootrigal? Also, at this point in the season, we were all like, "What the hell is going on with the season? Let's go get to the juicy parts." I get that. I don't feel it the same way. They're trying to tell us if all these things are happening post-imperialism to set up something, but this could be done through a different episode of different seasons that would have been better. And Mando could have been better because now the show is more about the other characters too, while it used to be only about Mando and Grogu. It wasn't. I would say I would disagree. I don't think it was ever about just Mando and Grogu because we used to have Cara Dune, and it's always been about Grief Karga, and it's always had these other characters popping up. We had Bill Burr pop up multiple times, right? We always have had these other plots. Like say, so the episode where Bill Burr comes back, that really only advances the plot of the overall story in a couple of parts, and then the whole middle of it is a fetch quest where they have to go into the Imperial base. They have to have the scene where the Raiders are trying to blow up the things with coaxium on them. They have the stuff where Bill Burr is arguing about or takes out the Imperial captain and stuff. That's all exactly the same. All of that episode is exactly the same as what this episode is with the droid chase, and then the ending is the part that advances the whole plot. So I guess I just don't understand what the complaints are about this season when that's exactly what it was. That was episode 6, I think, of last season, wasn't it?
That was also the episode where Mando took his helmet off too.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like we had the exact same formula last season, and no one was complaining about it. Maybe they're complaining about it now because we saw it all last season, I guess, and it's the same kind of format. But it was the exact same format, so I don't know. It just doesn't bother me.
I think the difference is that whole episode is they went there to get well.
They went there to go get Grogu back, and they had to go do this side quest to get it. And then the end of it is they learn the information they need to from Bill Burr to go off. That's the same thing that happens at the end of this episode. They learn the thing they need to go off. You know what I mean? Like, it's the exact same format. So I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. All right, Kanga Jang is saying.
Like droids.
Kanga Jang is saying it looked and sounded like she was reading off teleprompter, and she was not playing the subtlety of the interactions as well as I've seen other actors do. Next to Jack Black is glaringly obvious. All right, that's a fair complaint, I think. Grogu probably should have been reunited with Din at the end of the season. He's not needed right now and would make the reunion feel better. Maybe. I heard there was a major production issue between Favreau and Kennedy about bringing Grogu back in Boba Fett. Yeah, I was reading something about that last night when Lakshaya said something about Pedro Pascal maybe leaving the show. It's all from one source of a guy who I've never heard of, so I don't know about that. Kathleen Kennedy
That was
seems...
another complaint that I had kind of about the season as a whole is Grogu and Din haven't. I mean, Din's done more, but Grogu hasn't really done anything this season.
But he didn't really do anything in the previous 2 seasons either. You know what I mean?
But after
he's a baby. What do you want him to do?
Ended with him becoming a Jedi. You would think that this season
he didn't become a Jedi. He left. Like
that.
Luke
we didn't know that though going into the season. I'm just
well, we did because we watched Book of Boba Fett. So
well, I'm going back to like right when season 2 ended, thinking then we're like, oh shit, this is crazy. Grogu's going to be a Jedi.
Yeah, he's Lucas taking him.
Shot that all down. So
yeah, I mean that I kind of get, but the thing is, like, say, there's the episode where they're they're on the planet, they're hiding out in season 1. He runs into Cara Dune, which is one of my favorite episodes. There's the blue weird stuff. There's the chick who wants him to take his helmet off and settle down with him. And what does Grogu do that whole episode? He just plays with the kids and eats frogs and does cute little things, right? That's basically what he does in this one. He just plays with Lizzo and does cute little Force things now with a little bit more to it. So, yeah, okay. Well, let's. They ruined the best show. What's up, Faust? Everyone loves Bill Burr, though. I didn't like him in the first episode, but I did like him in the second one for sure. Yeah. To be honest, I wanted to see him learn the Darksaber this season and him reuniting with the Mandos. It's too big for him. Like Yoda didn't have a saber that big. And I don't think that would have been practical. But yeah, it's more about Bo-Katan this season. She is doing more things than Mando and Grogu. But that doesn't bother me. The show is called The Mandalorian. It's not like I always assumed it would be about Mandalorians. I guess. I don't know. He doesn't seem like he's. I guess if there was thing that was going to bother me, that was a little bit of it because he does seem to have taken a backseat to her a bit.
Yeah.
But we got 2 episodes left. Everything they've done so far I've liked, so I'm going to trust them and not be too worried about it. To be fair, people have been complaining about the side quest junk since the beginning. I don't really mind the aspect because I like the world building. Me too. I love it. Yeah. Grogu isn't really a baby. He's like 50 years old. In his species, he's a baby. So, all right, let's continue on with this episode, and we'll get into. Then we'll discuss more where we're at. So, anyways, they are talking to these guys. They're the rulers of the planet. They say they can't have the Mandalorians who they've hired as their kind of they're not allowed to have a standing army, and so they also can't have people with weapons enter their city as an army. So they can't have them do it. However, Bo-Katan and Mandalorian's armor is a part of their religion or their way of life, which I love that because that's a callback to previous seasons where he says that. So like, hey, you can take care of this problem for us. You see what's going on? Yeah, okay. So they go and we find Christopher Lloyd. Again, this does not bother me in the slightest. I think some people were talking about like, it's too many cameos for one episode. I don't see this as a cameo exactly. I mean, it is because it's an actor you know, but so was Tim Meadows in the previous episode. Like, the idea that you could only have actors you've never seen before be in Star Wars is just ridiculous to me. And they've had these actors just so no one it all has to be an unknown actor every single time or people aren't going to accept it. No, that's I think that.
Yeah, I think the problem people get with that is whenever they see a new character added, they're always kind of like thinking like, oh, is this going to be a new character we see for multiple episodes or even multiple seasons or whatever? It's like, oh, but if it's instantly a celebrity like this or something, like a Jack Black, I'll be shocked if we see his character again in another episode ever. Well, like we know he's only doing the one episode.
Sure, but Bill Burr has done 2 episodes.
Reoccurring character. And you like those recurring character kind of things.
Giancarlo Esposito has done multiple episodes. He's Moff Gideon. He's huge, dude.
Yeah, he obviously got cast as like the main antagonist of the series. So
right, but Bill Burr did a couple episodes. He might come back. The Cara Dune actress who got canceled, she came back in multiple episodes. Grief Karga. It's friggin' Apollo Creed, man. All these actors, they're just actors, and so they come back multiple times. If we ever see Jack Black again, maybe we will, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll never see Christopher Lloyd again. He's getting sent off to jail. I don't know, but like it doesn't bother me that he was in one episode and then they proceeded on and he wasn't in another one. Like,
again, like my issues with this episode was not the cameos. I didn't care about that. When I saw Jack Black, I was laughing. I was like, heck yeah, Tenacious D and
instantly I was like, hell yeah, Jack Black. And so one of the things I love about this is compared to Andor is it captures that weird spirit of Star Wars in a different way, because Star Wars is weird, nerdy, like I don't know, just weirdness a lot of times, right? Whereas Andor is much more dry and serious and so forth. Mandalorian has always been more they got the weird aliens, they got the large creatures attacking, they got the strange things going on.
These shows branch out and show us more of the Star Wars world beyond just the Jedi and the Sith.
Yeah. And so
the normal world of Star Wars and how weird and quirky it can get.
Yeah, I love the pulpy, weird stuff. Like I love that side of Star Wars. Yeah. It's what's fun to me. So it's why this episode was super fun to me. Okay, so they go here, and he's like, "Hey, we programmed all these droids to work for us. All of the people don't work anymore, but there's been these issues with the droids acting up, and even some assaults." And he's like, "I programmed them all." Jack Black's like, "I oversaw all of them too personally," which is part of what leads you to think maybe something's going on there because he is an ex-Imperial. Mm-hmm. And
because he also has that little stamp, the badge or whatever that the girl
because the Scarlet Letter thing. So they go talk to Christopher Lloyd, and they're like, "Okay, well, can you direct us to where we need to go?" And they're like, "Yeah, we got to go down to the lower levels, and we got to talk to these Ugnaughts." This I absolutely loved. They go down and they talk to these Ugnaughts. The Ugnaughts are completely ignoring Bo-Katan, and then Din is like, "I have spoken, blah blah blah." everyone knows you guys are the hardest workers in the galaxy. And they all sit down and share their food with him, and he talks kind of like how Kawil did. He mentions that he knew Kawil, like what they all know Kawil. I don't know.
Apparently he's a big deal.
Probably just knew the name, and he speaks the right way, so they pay attention to him. But I loved all of the callback. I loved that he learned all of this stuff from Kawil, and so he knows how to talk to them. Because afterwards, Bo-Katan's like, "What was that?" And he's like, "I've had some dealings with Ugnaughts. You can't insult their work. You gotta talk to them the right way." So yeah, I absolutely love that. All of this stuff looks excellent. So the Ugnaughts go and tell them where to go, where these droid problems have happened, and we get all of these old B1 and B2 battle droids, and I love that Din's solution to figuring this out is just, hey, I'm just gonna kick some droids. He's like just snapping in their face and being like, hey, what's up? Let me just kick this droid and see what happens. And so then he does that to like a third one, and it freaks out. So then they have a fun chase scene, which completely felt like, I don't know, this world building, everything in this just looks absolutely spectacular. Set design, it doesn't look like it's CGI. This looks like a real alien planet that they're running through.
It felt like a huge callback to episode 2 at the beginning when they're chasing the bounty hunter, when Anakin and
the
bounty hunter,
the prequels. Yeah, it totally does, like the underworld of Coruscant kind of.
So it really felt like that, like running through the streets and doing all that.
Also, it looks like Kenobi where they're on that one planet, but it looks way better than that somehow.
True. Yeah.
And it could be like Blade Runner kind of looking world a little bit. It's just neon and vibrant and awesome, and they're chasing them down. It's super fun seeing the
part that was weird for me about that old chase scene though was the droid itself, the way it was running. Like we've seen those droids for a long time. They've been in movies, Clone Wars show. Like
they very rarely show them moving quickly at all.
Majority of the time, they're kind of slow moving. You're led to believe that they're just these big old clunky droids, and all of a sudden, this dude's a freaking marathon sprinter. Like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, that did throw me a little bit.
That was a little weird. I was kind of, that's an odd choice. It almost made me feel like, is there a person in that one or something? Or is it being controlled by someone, like remotely? Like, what's going on? And then we didn't get an answer for that. It just was like, oh, apparently that's how they can run. They're fast, but we've never seen that anywhere close to that.
Well, it makes sense if they're all marching out in formation that they're going to go marching very slowly, because we've never really seen them too much on their own. But I do remember a few times where like one shoved a B1 out of the way and started to move a little faster, or a couple other things. But yeah, that was a little bit jarring, because you're like, wait, can they move this fast? Apparently they can. I don't know.
They were in many episodes of Clone Wars, and they never got anywhere close to that.
Like, I can just completely... I don't remember... There was no situation in the Clone Wars or the prequel trilogy where they were being chased or where they were chasing anyone that I can think of. So we never really would have had an opportunity to see if they could move fast or not.
I mean, I feel like if they were in battle, though, there were many times where they were always just seen as just like walking.
But that's what they all were. They were all marching in formation, and
if they're getting shot at and everything, or a Jedi's attacking, and you would think they would move out of the way then and not just stand there and die.
But the battles in those shows were just stupid. I mean, they were fun to look at visually, but they made no sense. They were like Napoleonic War era. Everyone line up and fire in the same direction. Take your turns reloading your muskets, and you're all gonna get shit. Like they're not good combat tactics in any of that. So I can forgive that for the sake of the chase scene for sure.
Yeah.
So anyways, they chase him down. They blast his ass. Then they go to the droid bar, which we saw from the trailers, and all the droids look up and they're like, "What the hell are these mofo's doing here?" And the one droid, they're like, Mando's still being a dick to all the droids, which I've heard some people complain about, saying like he grew to be not so suspicious of droids, and so it's kind of weird him going back to that. But that also doesn't bother me, because when you prejudice for a long time against one group, and then you meet someone out of the group that you like, or that whatever, it changes your opinion a little bit, it doesn't take away years and years of prejudice, right? Especially when he's been just triggered by all these B1 droids or B2 battle droids who killed his family and whatnot. So like, that's totally believable to me. I don't think that was a regression for his character at all. But the droid helps them out. The main droid bartender is like, helps them out, and is like, we all want to help you because we don't want to be scrapped. And so all the droids here, I love just the variety of them, and they're all just like, hey, yeah, we want to help. They all chirp off at the same time. And he says there's this substance, nepenthe or something that they give them, which lubricates them, but also gives them information from the mainframe to like fix small little issues in their programming. So then they track that down, so then they go and check out. I love this scene where we're like, oh, we got a droid morgue. What? Like, who puts the battle droids in the morgue? Like, oh no, this B2 is dead. Let's put him in the morgue. Like, wouldn't you just take him back to the Ugnaughts? I don't know. It was a fun set design, but also kind of silly.
Like, what's the point of that? Unless they're just keeping them there, because then they repurpose them and build them, create them, like put them back together or something. And
because you think you'd send them to the Ugnaughts. So, but maybe it's just because this one was one that was involved in an incident, so they're keeping it here separately. They take out the nepenthe that it's had, and they try giving it to like a different droid, and that droid just attacks them and shoots lasers all over the place, and Din slices it in half with the Darksaber. And they discover that, yes, it's Christopher Lloyd who set this up. So then they go back, they arrest him. I love that Bo-Katan, he turns out to be a separatist. He's like, I fought the Republic, I fought the Empire, I'm not dealing with any of these people. And he's
name dropped Count Dooku.
Yeah, he's like, Dooku was, I totally love that, because it's like an old man who liked their old man hero guy. And
I hate change.
Yeah, like it was perfect. There's a political aspect that goes along with that all the time that I liked it. And he's threatening to press this button to turn all of them back into battle droids and just screw up the planet. And as he's going on about how he hates change and stuff, Bo-Katan just shocks him. He just drops. Yeah. Like that was a great little moment of just like, eh. And she says something like politics, because obviously Bo-Katan doesn't like politics if you know anything from her story from Rebels. Yeah. I eats the butt. What up, dude? How's it going? So then they go back. Oh, we had this scene. So the Royals, the Royals are just screwing around while they're waiting for him to do this, and Grogu's using the Force to help her push these random ass beetles. This is obviously meant to be like croquet or something like that. And Jack Black's like, this is the best run ever and stuff. This is all just fun, silly stuff. I liked it. I had no problems with it. I enjoyed it. She knights Grogu and says he's a knight of something. What the hell was it?
I don't know.
I forget.
Now he's officially a Mandalorian foundling Jedi Knight.
Yes, he's something. So then they go off. So then they give him permission to go see the other Mandalorians. All of this set design looks friggin' spectacular. It's beautiful. I don't know why this looks so much better than Kenobi did. I guess maybe just the lighting, Maybe they just know how to use the volume better than the directors on that show. I don't understand exactly how it looks so much better than Kenobi did. But Kenobi was very dark in general, so maybe that's why. But I don't know. This looks spectacular. And you got Axe Woves. He's just sitting out here having his calf, of course. And Bo-Katan's like, I challenge you. Do you accept? And like, yeah. And then I liked this battle quite a lot because they use the jetpacks effectively. They use the flamethrower. She uses her shield. They get out a vibro blade. They use the hooky little lasso kind of thing. It was all good. I loved the fight. Thought it was super good. She's like, do you yield? And he's like, yeah, I yield, but why are you fighting me when you should be fighting Din? And she's like, well, there's been enough blood spilt between us Mandalorians. I had to take you down basically to get my people back and my ships and my fleet. And then, but he's like, says the leader of our planet, or our people, has to have the Darksaber. You should be going and taking it from him. And Din's like, well, then she'll have it. Here it is. And she's like, this is not something you can give to me. And then he explains the story of what happened, where he was defeated. She defeated the thing that defeated him. So doesn't it belong to her? And everyone's like, yeah, okay, fuck it. We're fine with that.
I guess that's right.
Yeah, so then, which is what we speculated on last time when we did that review of that episode. We were like, well, wait a minute. Shouldn't it belong to Bo-Katan because she defeated him, the guy who defeated Mando? And we were like, yeah, it could be, but I don't know. But it seemed to take it back, and it wasn't that big a deal. So, people already speculated that could be a thing. And yeah, so basically there was the end of the episode. So what What did you think about all of that and how that played out?
So yeah, like you said, I really liked the battle or the challenge that she did him to earn back, I guess, the trust of her people that she was in charge of. It was a very fun little action set there, and I thought the explanation though for that being how she gets the dark saber back was kind of lame. Um, I didn't think that it was ever going to get to a point where she was going to challenge him for the dark saber, but to me it's lame because like was he really beaten by that android? He just fell into a trap and he got caught there.
We did talk about that at the time, yeah.
She just showed up and then, oh hey, look, the dark saber. All right, you're dead.
Or use it like a badass.
He got away.
Yeah, and that's fair. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what way they were going to get it to her without having the two of them fight, and I don't know what way they were going to make, because it seems pretty clear they don't want to make her a villain, you know?
Yeah.
So without her being a villain,
I thought of that they could have done is with last episode them announcing that Moff Gideon is out, is have Moff Gideon, or maybe if he was broken out by some rogue Mandalorians, maybe they attack and one of them defeats Mando with it and then earns the darksaber from him, and then Bo defeats them and earns it back that way. Something like that. Or even if it was Moff Gideon that comes back and fights Mando and then she beats Mando. Or she beats Moff Gideon finally and gets that revenge of defeating Moff Gideon and taking the saber from him like he took it from her originally.
It all seems just so friggin' convoluted to have to try to get it back to that point when, we are in episode 6 and there's only 2 more. And this is clearly where they wanted to go with it, was to give it back to her. And they could have done all that stuff, but I just didn't see it happening. This is kind of how I thought it would go down, probably. Or it seemed likely to me at that point. But yeah, how come Din only thought of that then and not 4 days ago? I'm sure he thought of it 4 days ago, but he needed to be in front of these people who cared to make it a scene that mattered, you know? Would be what I would say.
Although, as we talked about earlier, they just take things at word value, I guess, by, I saw a mythosaur. Oh, okay, cool.
But this way, she kicks the dude's ass and gets back to Fleet, and then he's like, oh, also, she saved me from this weird-ass, funky android cyborg thing.
Pretty sure it was, General Grievous's cousin.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like, yeah, I don't know. I think there could have been better ways to do it. I just don't know what they would have been.
Yeah.
Exactly. So...
Like outside of the scenario I presented, which, like you said, that it does seem like that would take a lot to have gotten through. That wouldn't have just been like a 1-episode thing that all of that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have taken up quite a bit of time to lead up to introducing this whole rogue aspect of characters that broke out Gideon and them attacking. But I think
that's more of a red herring with the Beskar armor and getting Gideon. But someone mentioned earlier, and I'm sorry I didn't say it at the time, there was the group of Mandalorians who did work for the Empire, and was that Gar Saxon, right? That was the group of Mandalorians.
Yeah, the ones that worked. They were loyal to Darth Maul.
No, those were. Wait, were those the same ones? Were the Mandalorians the same ones? The one that worked for the Empire? There were some that worked for the Empire for sure, and. Like, it could be those ones that broke out Moff Gideon, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that was Gar Saxon played by Ray Stevenson, who's the guy who's in the Ahsoka trailer? I think? I want to say. Let's see. Gar Saxon Rebels. What clan? Who plays... that's Ray Stevenson, who is the badass-looking mofo in the trailer for Ahsoka. So, it could be them. I'm not sure. I thought the Mythosaur would somehow trump the Darksaber so Bo could still rule while Din wields the saber, because I like that he has it. I would have liked him if he became comfortable with using it, but we clearly saw how comfortable she was with it, and so I don't know.
Once you showed the episode of her earlier using it, I'm like, okay, she's for sure getting it back at some point.
Yeah.
But I did want him to be able to have it and learn to use it and actually do some cool stuff with it.
If he's going to be the leader of
two awesome weapons to use in these shows, and hasn't been able to keep either one of them.
Yeah, if
the spear and now the Darksaber, and he doesn't have either of them anymore. But I mean, obviously he's still a badass, and he has his awesome ship and all that stuff. But
the thing to me is he just never like seemed like he had any interest in becoming the leader of Mandalore.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
It just didn't make any sense for him to have the Darksaber, really. And it would have been fun to see him use it and kick some ass with it. But at the same time, if that's not his destiny or whatever is to be the leader of Mandalore, then it really didn't make sense for him to hang on to it either. So
yeah, I thought they also could have done a thing where I don't know, they try to break free from the old ways and be like, the Darksaber isn't the true, like whoever has that doesn't have to rule, and then allow Bo to have control. Kind of how Kango was saying, how if she tames the mythosaur, like that trumps the Darksaber, and Mando just becomes essentially her executioner that has the Darksaber, not literally executioner, but
well, these Mandalorian rules, they're pretty. They kind of just make it up as they go along. It seems like, you know, because they're all like,
and especially with
hey, you can't take your helmet off. Oh, you can take your helmet off.
Armor in episode 5, allowing Bo to take her helmet off and be like, okay, well maybe we have strayed from the way.
But I think that's good. I just think that there's some things where people are like, oh, I wish it would have happened slightly more this way, you know?
Yeah.
Which is fine, and maybe I'm fully prepared if these next 2 episodes suck for me to be like, well, this was shit, you know? Like, I'm fully prepared to be like, well, this is stupid. This has gone downhill quickly.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, though, I'm like, I like where it's going, or how it's been going so far. I don't know exactly what's going on, and it doesn't bother me. I'm along for the ride. I have no expectations. Let's just see what happens. And then I'll analyze it more at the end. The thing that's weird for me is that, generally speaking, I am the person who is most critical about any media in a group of friends. And I'm not in this case. And I'm not... I've seen so much stuff online about like, oh, this season's gone downhill. Or I've heard from other people like, oh, this season's... I've heard it's not very good. And I don't understand it. It's crazy to me. Because I've really enjoyed it, everything so far. Like
I haven't had an issue with the whole
stuff,
season, but this was the only episode that really kind of, to me, felt like after the cliffhangers I had us with episode 5 of being like the whole Bo thing, and then Moff Gideon, I'm like, oh, these last 3 episodes are really going to get into all that stuff, and then 90%, 95% of the episode was not connected at all to that plot. I was kind of just like, well, why'd they tease all that stuff in the last episode if we're not going to get to any of that yet? I don't
know. So then Lakshaya was pointing out last night that he heard something about Pedro Pascal not being in the show anymore, which I suppose is possible, but when I Googled it, this is what I came up with, and it was this report from yesterday. Mandalorian director confirms Pedro Pascal isn't the Mandalorian anymore. Well, all this person was saying, it's Rick Famuyiwa, who's one of the bigger directors for the show, right? He's just saying he's not the Mandalorian, as in he's not the only Mandalorian. Yeah. And they're like, they talk about all this stuff, and this all comes from, the source was all, so Rick Famuyiwa, and then there was speculation from some guy, where was it down here? Maybe this is not the same article, but there was another one that was all like speculation from some other guy, and it was like some other guy I've never heard of at buttwipe.com says that he's not going to be the Mandalorian anymore. It's just like, what? Shut the F up.
Saying that Pedro Pascal or the Mandalorian is going off planet to fight against zombies on another planet.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, he's making so many millions of dollars, and he's absolutely huge, and so wait, he's not going to be like I'm just like I don't buy it. I don't think that's what's going on at all. the rumors are just, it's like literally one source, and it's one guy like on YouTube who's like, I think it's not going to happen. Reports came out when he was playing The Last of Us 2. Yeah, see, I don't think it's believable because like he had to get special
that's what I was
permission.
saying. Like, oh, he's going to another planet to fight zombies, aka he's going to The Last of Us.
Yeah, he specifically had to get permission to do The Last of Us, and it just doesn't seem. I don't buy it at all. Like he's got to be making so much friggin' money, and all Rick Famuyiwa was saying was that. So okay, he was outraged when fans learned that Dave Filoni would be directing a movie dedicated to wrapping up the story told in The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, which is very exciting for everyone to see characters like Din Djarin on the big screen finally. Yes. I think that's been interesting as we've been on the journey of the show, and now that we're at this point, is that what does the title mean? Bo-Katan taking center stage in the overall story as Din willingly gives us the Darksaber and shares his thoughts about the Mandalorian. Title isn't really about Din Djarin. Who's the Mandalorian at this point? And so I think it could be anyone, and I think that's what they're trying to define in many ways, is what does that mean to be Mandalorian? It's not, like, I don't see any of it being, like, oh, Pedro Pascal is fed up and wants to leave the show. I don't...
Yeah, I wouldn't. I haven't heard anything about that.
I don't buy that at all, so I'm not concerned about that. The good thing about not taking off your helmet, Pedro Pascal is replaceable. He is, I mean, but it's his voice, and he has taken off the helmet. And I don't really see him as being too replaceable. I think that the story could completely become about Katie Sackhoff and other Mandalorians, and that would he could be replaceable in that sense. But I don't think his character. I don't think they'd sub in a different actor for him for sure. Wildcat, what's up? How's it going? Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps it up with episode 5 and 6. Do we want to talk a little bit about Ahsoka and the other Star Wars Celebration news? So let's see. Ahsoka, I think, was the coolest thing. I don't know how the friggin' copyright stuff works with watching a trailer, because I've literally watched multiple other channels go step by step through a trailer before, and it seems like that video is fine. Maybe you have to turn monetization off for that. I'm not sure. So I'm not going to play the trailer. Maybe it's no sound on. But this trailer was frigging awesome. We see Ahsoka. We see what looks like Sabine come back here, and she looks pretty cool. We see the guys with the orange lightsaber. Over here is the Ray Stevenson I was talking about. He looks badass. Let me see. Go a little bit bigger here. She's on a couple different planets. We see Mon Mothma here, and kind of a council. We see Sabine is like, she's looking at a picture of Ezra and stuff, a holocron of him. Dude, he looks badass. This dude aged. He looks glorious here. I loved Rome. Did you ever watch Rome on HBO?
No.
You absolutely need to watch Rome. It is fantastic. So the thing is that Ray Stevenson here was one of the two main characters, basically. He plays Legionary Titus Pullo, and his friend is Kevin McKidd, so he plays Gar Saxon in Clone Wars and Rebels or whatever, and then Kevin McKidd played Pre Vizsla? No, he played someone else. It's funny because they're the two leads on Rome, and they also were in Star Wars. But yeah, we see this is what Hera looks like here. Oh, that went away. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but this trailer was friggin' awesome. I am super pumped. It's supposed to come out in August. If it comes out in September, I won't be surprised. We see
Chopper. We see.
Yep.
It looks like he's going to be maybe doing something with the World Between Worlds.
Possibly. This is definitely Thrawn. They did show him fully at Celebration, and they didn't release that footage, but everyone who was at Celebration got to see it. They saw the actor. It is the actor who played Thrawn in Rebels and everything, so it's the same guy.
Oh, it was? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, same guy. Yeah, here's Sabine. This is right before she fires up the image of Ezra, the holocron. Yep, Chopper here, looking cool.
We get the same actress that played Mon Mothma in Andor.
Yep, she's the same. She's the same. This
was also in Rogue One.
I think this is leaked footage of Thrawn. but they didn't actually release that stuff. So, but yeah, I don't know. It all looked cool. There's this light-haired.
We also saw the lady the magistrate lady that was in the episode.
Yeah.
when Ahsoka was in season 2.
Yeah, there's the one that was that Ahsoka fights with for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what is this guy too? This droid is somebody, right?
Hopper.
No, Hu Yang.
Oh.
Isn't that who this is?
Which one? Oh, the one that's the lightsaber dude. He helps. He's from Clone Wars. He helps the younglings make their lightsabers.
Yeah, so I think that's the same voice actor. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm pretty excited about that. It could be the show I'm most excited about for the summertime.
Definitely is for me.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know what else is going to top that. So
yeah, I second I saw that, I was just like, oh yeah.
I love Rosario Dawson. I in general just think that it should be awesome. So yeah, then the other news was about the movies. They announced 3 movies. Let's see if just do announcements. Let's go news.
I don't think they gave official name titles for them, right? They just kind of said the general.
And
concept.
it's kind of. I mean, you got to be suspicious because they've announced other things before, and they haven't happened. So.
Yeah, they also announced a few other shows too.
3 new Star Wars movies from James Mangold, Dave Filoni, and Charmin Obaid-Chinois? I'm not sure who that is. I think she's doing the older one. Okay, this is not the best thing. What were the name? Well, there's the old one where they.
The Dawn of the Jedi.
Yeah, that one looked cool. There was a. All right, I don't want this.
Another one that is completing out all the series of these Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, Dawn of the Jedi.
Book Boba and then Mando.
I think was there still? Oh, damn it! Just fill it in.
You guys still talking about the Lord of the Rings anime Little Mermaid crossover? Yes. Yes, Caveman.
Let's see. Do we have? Okay, no, this is not it either. There's an image from it.
Also name dropped Heir to the Empire, referring to
referring to Thrawn.
Is a callback to a comic run
about
Thrawn,
which is huge and everything. So there was this too. So the Dawn of the Jedi is a book, a Legends book. There's an image that I can't find that was really good though of what that was going to be, and then there's the Skeleton Crew with Jude Law, which looks like it's going to be more aimed at kids a little bit. The younger cast, it is going to have the one pirate from this most recent episode, and then then there's the Rey one will be set 15 years after the episode or after the episode 9, and it'll be her building the Jedi. Yeah. So I thought it'll be. That's what I'm least excited for, but I think it'll be very interesting to see what they do with that. Because I think that if it's written well, it could be really entertaining, you know?
Yeah.
I always liked Daisy Ridley. I had no issues with her. I liked, her character was fine. I think they did kind of make her, like, she could just do way too much. And I was it you that I was talking to, or somebody else were like, well, Luke was a Mary Sue. Luke could do anything, too. And I just strongly disagree with that. He could barely lift a friggin' rock to start off with, whereas she's just doing.
Luke also trained with freaking Yoda for a little while at least.
Yeah, which the time lapse on Dagobah, we don't know how that worked, but
with the Rey, she's just like all of a sudden is able to like out of nowhere shield her mind from
Kylo and then she can lift all the shit. She can do It was
like I learned how to Jedi mind track just randomly.
Yeah, and like that's not how the Force works. No, she can shoot lightning, but like that's not a light side ability ever. And just lots of different things where it's just like, eh. But I didn't have a problem with Daisy Ridley at all, and I liked the character of Rey. I liked the cast. I love like John Boyega was cool. I don't know if he wants to have anything to do with Star Wars, honestly. But I love Oscar Isaac and just about everything.
Yeah.
So
my one request for the Rey sequel, just don't bring Palpatine back.
somehow Palpatine returned.
and they'll come up in the win column, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting, but all of it sounded pretty exciting to me. So
I'm actually watching your screen right now, facing Sandman. I haven't done it yet or seen anyone do it. That was the first time I've seen that animation with all the sand and everything.
Oh yeah, he's pretty cool. I haven't gotten there in the actual thing. This is like an earlier level, and I've just been auto fighting in the background this whole time. So
yeah.
Thrawn casting is great. Ahsoka looks so good. Indy 5, I am a little worried about and hope it doesn't suck. It's probably gonna suck. Like I assume it's gonna suck. I still maintain that there are 3 Indiana Jones movies until anything can prove otherwise.
Well, you don't count the one that had brought aliens and the crystal skull or whatever?
I don't know what you're talking about. Are we talking about the best trilogies of all time again? Yeah. Thoughts on 6-star Absorbing Man Abdo? I haven't awakened him because I was opening more of these featured crystals. I think I'm done opening the featured crystals though because I've not awakened him. I have a gem for him. I think
I've officially decided to stop going for those featured. I stopped a little while ago because I've only been going to get Absorbing Man at this point. I've gotten everyone else, I think.
Yeah, I don't have Spot and I don't have Shuri, but I have 3 of the Science Awakening gems from Cyber Weekend. So they're like the 10, or not Awakening gems, Abyss gems. So crystals. So there's like the 10 choices. So I have a pretty good chance of getting Spot, I think.
Oh, nice.
But and same with the tech, but I don't care about Shuri as much. So I don't know. Oog, a regular for 2 months in a row. Dude, thank you very much for the support. That is awesome. Knock, knock. Who's there? Cindy Lou. Cindy Lou, who? No, sorry. Terrible. But yes, thank you, dude. It is much appreciated. I got to get you guys some new emojis. So Captain Bayeee actually said that he's going to work on a bunch of emojis for me.
I already sent you one on Twitter today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did. What did you? Where was it at? Like, yeah, this one. The creepy ass Mia's thing with the mustache just looks ridiculous. I don't even know.
I just can't not see Mr. Potato Head as the thing whenever I look at that.
Can you put on Mr. Potato Head ears and glasses and stuff too? And oh yeah, no, we need to. I need to work on Rage Face. I need to get another. I need a beer and a shot for 2 months or something. I don't know. We're gonna work on other things eventually. I need advice too, Cap. I need life advice.
Well, I'm not the one to ask for that then.
Well, you're here and you're my friend, so.
What do you need life advice for?
I got a text from a guy who's a friend who works at a bar close by, and it's a divey kind of spot. Usually you're working by yourself. You can wear jeans and a t-shirt there. There's a lot of old school drunks, regulars who are there all the time. It's a soccer bar. I don't know what the shifts would be. He asked me if I wanted a job, and I was like, yes. And the more I've thought about it, I'm just like, God, I really don't know if I do. I'm having a hard time deciding. I'm having second thoughts because I really don't want to go back to the service industry. I don't want to. And if I do, I kind of want to do it at a high-end restaurant where I can make a bunch of money. But I'm just so not in the mood to deal with people and also work those late hours because I might have to be there till 2 or 3 in the morning. I might, you know what I mean? So I think he gave me a link to the owner's email to send over a resume, and I might send it over and just be like, hey, yeah, and I'm inquiring about what's the deal with the hours, what's going on, but I don't know. I'm not sure what the hell I should do. Tell me what to do. What do I do with my life?
Well, when you first said I got a text from a guy, I was like, whoa, this is starting off juicy.
He's got a girl too, but no.
I mean, yeah, you got to think if, like, for starters, if that's something you want to go back and do again. Like you said, you've worked bar life before. You know what to expect out of it.
Well,
right.
I can't as of yet pay my bills with YouTube. People like Oog, Odysseus, multiple people in the chat DTX are very supportive, and it really does make a difference. But it's not enough to pay the rent, even, let alone anything else yet, right?
Yeah.
You have to grow so much more. But if I start doing a job like that again, it's gonna cut off YouTube stuff to all sorts of weird hours. And one of the things that's helped is that I've been regular at 7:30 every night. You know.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want things where I can have flexibility and control over it. I've thought of maybe just getting a new car and driving for like Uber Eats or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that would give me all sorts of flexibility and time to do it.
You literally make your own schedule.
Yeah. I mean, but that's kind of a shit job. But I don't know. I'm going to sleep on it and see what I think. But money is money, but hard to justify going back to something you walked away from already. Yeah.
I mean, I'll just say I feel like, hearing from the outside, it almost sounds like you're telling yourself you don't want to do it, but you're like, tell me why I should take it, but even though I don't want to, if that makes sense.
I want permission.
Like, it sounds to me like you don't want to take it.
No, I don't, and I want permission to not do it. But
and I feel like if that's the case, that's not a good reason to take a job if your mindset is already like going into like, I don't want to take this job.
Well, good reason to but a good reason to take the job is that, like, you know, I need to eat. So
obviously, yeah.
So,
but yeah, if you are like,
it's someone
I'm either going to pay my rent this month by getting this job, or I'm going to be on the street next month.
Yeah, I'm not going to be on the street, but I'm like, things will become increasingly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I got to make a decision at some point. I don't know. If you have a set schedule at your new job,
the rate for the girls on the street, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to fight for that corner. If you have a set schedule at your new job, you can adjust your YouTube schedule, and your audience will follow you to a certain extent. Yeah. I don't know.
Ooh, excuse me.
All right. Well, anyways, guys, do you guys want to say anything more, Cap or chat or anything else about Star Wars for tonight?
Where do you guys think the last 2 episodes are going to go? Who do we think broke out Moff Gideon?
One thing I will say, and it is not... Without any details, I do know that people at Celebration got to see the start of Episode 7.
Oh.
And everything that I've heard so far is that people were like, oh, hell yes. So
nice.
That makes me excited for that.
Because they were paid to say that, though, so I'm not going to believe it.
I don't think so. I think these are like the biggest, nerdiest Star Wars fans around, and so yeah, there'll be more stuff like that. But I don't know. Having limited game time cause of work hours is definitely a thing for me too. I feel you. Yeah, and I don't need to play the game more than what I'm doing on YouTube for the most part, as long as I can log in for AQ and AW. So that's not the biggest concern. Thinking about, like, if I was driving for Uber, I could do it for a few hours, come back, take Zoe out, go off and do it again too, you know? Just having more control would be nice. But I kind of want to find something to work from home, even if it was just $25 an hour and I did it part-time just to pay the rent while I continue to work on YouTube. But even that, I don't know what I'm qualified for or what I would do, so I don't know.
Wait, what show is Odysseus? Odysseus? I don't know how to say
Odysseus?
Yeah, sure.
Odysseus. He's a classic Greek. It's fine. I think Yoda will make an appearance. I'm on season 1, episode 5, and just got here. I don't know. Are you talking about for The Mandalorian?
Well, I went back and read his other messages. He said, are we talking about the best trilogies of all time again?
That's a different discussion. We're not getting into that because that was where I was...
And then he says... I don't know, that he's just talking about money. Yeah, and then he says that I think Yoda's going to make it... I don't know what show he's talking about.
You might be talking about The Mandalorian. I'm not sure.
You're talking about Mandalorian, and you got your timelines all mixed up.
Yeah. I just finished my first playthrough of Resident Evil 4 Remake today. It was fire. Nice, Reaper Dragon. Nice. I'm usually heavily disengaged from the topic of conversation. Fair enough. Speaking of support, Swinny. What up, Swinny? How are you doing? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Sending over, like, I guess 7 toonies with the loony attached to it. Thank you so much. I don't know why I feel the need to say that like Brian says it now for loonies or toonies if it's in Canadian dollars. But dude, thank you for the support. See, I got people like this who are you guys are super generous, and it is very it really helps. But oh, we got to grow so much more to get to where this would be like my dream and I could do it, you know?
It's not as easy as some people make it seem. You got to be
making videos
or just
it's so tough.
Yeah.
I'm
bad about it now. I don't even make videos hardly ever anymore.
No, you got a real full-time job.
It's also true.
It really takes away from the time you have for that.
Yeah, well, especially because yeah.
Yeah, but it's, you know, I don't know. If you're talking about like what would be a dream job though, shit, doing YouTube is pretty close to that. I don't know what else.
Yeah.
I've never known I wanted to be a fireman or I wanted to be a chef or I wanted to be an army ranger or something like that. I've never known.
If I could get paid to binge watch shows and TV and movies, that would be my dream job.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's fun doing review streams, you know? Talking about all the stuff that I nerd out on and with my friends who like to talk about this shit too. It's great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go back to something you don't like, not worth it. Love the Mandalorian content you and Captain Bayeee do. Thank you. Chris, thank you, man. Thank you. Good to hear.
Do it for you, Chris.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. All right, well, I guess that'll wrap it up. If we don't have anything else you wanted to say, I think we've covered most of it.
I think we pretty much covered it up. While I didn't love this last episode, it didn't make me hate the rest of the season. I'm still excited to see what's going to happen in these final 2 episodes. I think they can still make some fun stuff happen. I just don't want it to be like, oh, a 30-minute episode and then
like, you know the next episode is going to be a 30-minute episode too.
That's what I'm afraid of.
100% it's going to be a short episode. Everyone's going to be freaking out.
Yeah.
And
then the finale's going to be all rushed, but we'll see.
It'll be priceless, but it's good stuff. Chris M also sending over $2. Thank you very much, dude. Much appreciated. I'm gonna drop a link to Brian's stream, guys. He's going to be testing out Viv Vision. It looks like getting around to all of the new champions eventually. I don't know. He seems to be on a testing kick. That's weird. Let's give him a hashtag. This is the Bayeee.
This is the Bayeee.
This is the Bayeee raid. Yeah. Like so. But dude, no, thank you guys very much for tuning in. These are always like a lower viewed stream and everything, but Cap and I love doing this shit. We're gonna continue doing this,
and that's why I decided not to stream on this time, because even when we both do this, like, you still get around this amount, but I'll have like 3 to 5 people watching mine, and those same people are
usually over here too. Yeah,
I'm just like, let's just do one. It makes it easier.
It's fair. I like the 2 perspectives when we are doing incursions though, because then I can flip back and forth between ours and put it on screen.
Yeah, if that's the case, I can just like share my screen on Discord. And
that's true. We can do it that way too. We'll figure it out going forward. But thank you for joining, as always. Thanks to chat. Glad someone enjoys it. Screw you, Oog. You're still here. Tomorrow night, guys, do not forget, it'll be Battlegrounds with the subs. I already have like 10 people lined up to go pretty much, so there's not going to be that many more spots. Hopefully starting at 6 p.m. Pacific time. If there is anybody else, we'll do that, and we'll try to get through them as fast as I possibly can, so that everyone can get as many people can get points for Yusafa's scavenger hunt as possible. So
yeah, I need to do one of those streams too. I was thinking either doing that tomorrow or Tuesday. I may do it Tuesday then. If
I'll be going to trivia Tuesday. So if you wanted to do it at like 7:30 when I normally stream on Tuesday night, okay. I would announce that and tell people and stuff.
That might work out then.
Okay, we'll talk about that behind the scenes. But yeah, dude, thank you guys. Shout out to Swinny for being the big shot, and everybody else who sent over some support, and just everybody for hanging out, and to Captain my Captain as well. All right, I'm gonna end the stream now. You guys have a